What's up guys? How's life? Oh, thanks, I'm good too. So today we're going to create this really cool text effect, and it looks like it was made for a music album, and you can just use it for any of your own posters, of course. So first of all, we're going to start by creating this 3D text with the 3D background and this wind effect and so on, and then we're going to transform it into something like that, and also add the background. And look at this background, it got all these points and looks really nice. This tutorial is for people who have already some knowledge about Photoshop. I would say this is an intermediate tutorial, and if you have any questions or there's something that you don't understand, then I would advise you to go to my website, which is learnfromfred.com, and start there your free trial of premium Photoshop classes where I teach Photoshop and show how to create cool Photoshop projects, all for free for a whole month. And that's it, let's get back into our lesson. So first of all, let's go to File and New. We have to create a new project, of course. Come on, what did you think? So width 1000, height 500, resolution 300, color mode RGB, and let's press Create. So now let's go to text, and I'm going to use a text which is called Avengers Heroic. And if you want to use the same font, you can just go to Google and Avengers font, and then the first font that you see, this one, just download it and use it, or you can use any other font if you want to. So let's just type hello, and let's press OK. So now, first of all, let's increase the size. So let's just go to Edit, Free Transform, and let's make this bigger, because that's not big enough. Something like that should be fine. Okay, let's take our first tool, which is the Move tool, of course. The first thing we need to do, we need to create many copies of this project here. But also, let's go to Layers, let's go to the background and delete this. We don't need this, okay, it's useless. So now first of all, let's create just one copy, and again just hold Alt or Option and then drag it, and let's turn off one of the text. So now first of all we need to stylize this text. In order to stylize it, just go here, press right, and then go to blending options, okay, and press right, not on the text, not here, but exactly here on the empty space, and go to blending options. And here on blending options, we have different layer styles that we can use in order to apply different cool effects to our text. The first one we are going to start is actually Bevel and Emboss. Let's just click on it. As you can see, when we click on it, first of all, this is checked, and also we changed to the Bevel and Emboss panel. And here we have different effects. I'm not going to show you all of them because this is gonna take like really lots of time. But I'm gonna show you only the ones that we need and explain what they actually do. So here we have different styles. Make sure you choose here in a bevel. And if you look here, it's already changed a little bit. Yours may look different because we haven't still applied all the parameters that I have on my laptop. And you can also look here to see the effect. So here, for example, what you can do, you can play with depths, see what's going to happen. You look here, it has more or less depths. And then of course we have size and soften. For example, you can increase the size or you can decrease the soften. As you can see, for example, when I make soften less, I can increase or decrease the size of this effect, okay? And now all you have to do is just to follow exactly parameters that I have on my laptop. For example, I do soften like that a little bit, and size should be like this. And then angle, you can of course press and drag the angle and see what's going to happen. Look here, it's going to change the angle from which the light is actually coming, and we need an angle which is exactly like this, so the light should be on the right side, okay? And this should be fine. So again, if you have something different on your laptop, just copy my parameters here and yours should look the same. Now let's go to Inner Glow. Inner Glow actually helps us to create a glow inside our object. As you can see, for example, here, let's first of all, what you should do, just go to blending mode, make it normal, bring opacity to 100%, and now just choose here blue color, okay? Press OK. As you can see, we see here right now this kind of strong blue color, and I just wanted to show you what actually Inner Glow does. It applies a color from all of the sides, but this is too strong. Let's bring opacity a little bit down like this. Also play with choke and size. Make sure it's something like on my laptop, for example, if I increase the size, I think it's too much, so let's make sure it's not too much, but we still can see the blue, and this is already nice. And now the last element is actually overlay gradient. So if we go here and just click gradient overlay and also change to this panel, so here what we actually have to do, if you go to gradient, first of all, let's go to blending mode and bring it to normal. Make sure opacity is 100%, and scale is also 100%, And now let's go to the gradient itself. We need to change the gradient. So let's click on the gradient, click here, and choose here one of the standard gradients that Photoshop has. Now we need to add more colors here. So how does this thing actually work? First of all, let's click on the first color, and let's just click twice here and make this pink, and you can just copy this color if you want to. Let's press OK. And now if we click here again, so as you can see, when I put my mouse here, I see this hand button. This basically means I can create a new color. If I click again, I create another color, and let's press again, and now I can just change it to red. Yeah, this should be fine. So now what you actually have to do, take this color, we have to delete this. So just take it and bring it down to delete this. And now we have to create a copies of this color. So in order to create a copy, again, you can just hold Alt or Option. So we can just hold Alt or Option and drag it, as you can see. So first we create a copy of the pink one, now we create a copy of red one, just hold Alt or Option and drag it, and then create a copy of pink one, hold Alt or Option and drag it, and like this we have to create few copies. Perfect, let's press OK. So when you did that, actually what you're going to see here this kind of lines, and if you don't, just make sure you change the angle. For example, if I change the angle, as you can see, it looks different. And yeah, you can also look here. The thing is that the colors are pretty similar, pink one and red one. That's why we don't see the clear lines, but still they are visible. And we can also play with scale. Let's decrease the scale a little bit, and now we can see the lines much better. So now when we did that, let's just press OK. And now here we have two texts basically. So the first one is actually just a normal color, and the second one is already with this effect. So now we have to create few copies of the one with the effect. So let's again zoom in, and now let's hold Alt or Option and drag a little bit up and left. So we have to create a copy, and every time we have to go a little bit up and left, so not too much. Hold Alt or Option, create a third copy, and again hold Alt or Option, create fourth copy. As you can see here, we also see the copies. And when you create a copy, just make sure you still can see the hole in this letter O basically, because if you create too many copies, then you're not going to see this anymore. And one more, I would say. We can create more actually. So perfect. Now we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies. That should be fine. And let's now turn on the upper layer, the upper hello, which is just a normal text. Now let's take this hello and put it here like this, so we still can see the back of the text, and also we can see the front. And now let's change the color of this text. We want actually to add some gradient on it, so let's just go here, press right on the text here, and then go convert to smart object. Okay, so now when we did that, let's go again, press right here, and then go to blending options, and now we can actually add gradient to our text. So if we go to gradient overlay, and then just choose a different gradient. So let's just click here, make sure you choose one of the Photoshop standards gradients, and now we need to change the colors, and the colors are going to be light blue and green. So if I click here twice, I can change this to blue, and then the second one, click here twice, change this to green. Let's press OK. And also we can adjust the angle, for example. No, this is fine actually. Yeah. Oh, the size, let's make the size 100%. This is important. Let's press OK now. So now when we did that, this already looks pretty nice. So now we need to combine all of the text with effect layer, so all of the text that are below this blue one, to one single object. How are we going to do that? So first of all, let's click on this text, which is basically the first one below this green text. And let's go down, let's hold Shift and click on the last one. Now let's click on the right button on the mouse, of course, and then we have this menu here, and let's choose convert to smart object. So now we have here two objects. First one is our text, and the second one is the background. Make sure you select the background, go to filter, stylize, and then go to wind. Now when we have wind effect here, this actually helps us to create this kind of cool glitch effect, and here we can choose wind, blast, or stagger. So I would advise you to choose wind, and make sure the direction goes from the right. So oh no, actually from the left should be better. Let's press OK. And as you can see, we have here this effect. If you want to add even more effect, you can go again to filter, again to stylize, and again to wind effect, and then click once more OK. and then we have 2. As you can see, the effect is much stronger. So now let's go to this text, this one basically, and apply the same effect to it as well. Let's go to filter, stylize, and wind. But this time we want it to be from the right. Let's see, yeah, from right direction. Let's press OK, and boom, this already looks so interesting. No? So now when we did that, let's see actually how long is this tutorial. Okay, but I will cut a few moments, so it's around 10 minutes probably. So now let's create a background for this. So we need to create a background with this point. How are we going to do that? So first of all, let's just go here and create gradient. And let's just choose again some gradient. I would create a gradient like this, just like we did before. Or actually, no, this one is much better. Light pink and light yellow should be fine. Let's press OK. Yeah, most likely you don't have it on your standard gradients list. You'll have to create it yourself, but just make sure you have light pink and light yellow color, just like we created the gradients before that. Let's press OK now. And now what we need to do, first of all, let's take this and bring this back. And it already looks nice. Now let's click right here and then go to rasterize layer, and then again click right here and go to convert to smart object. Okay, this will help us to convert this to a smart object. And now again we can go to filter. This time we go to noise and add noise. So this is actually going to help us add this kind of cool noise, and we can increase the amount or decrease it. Just make sure it's not too much. This amount should be fine, somewhere around 18. Let's click OK. Actually, let's do 20. Yeah, let's click OK. Now let's go to filter, stylize, and do wind. And again we can play here with stagger, blast, or wind. Let's choose blast this time, and let's click OK. And see here, we have here this kind of points already. Now we need to place the image. So the image is here. I have the image here. If you want to have exactly this image, what you can actually do, so you can go to Google and then write Unsplash. Okay, and then let me just see what the name of the author, Azamat Zahanisov. So it's a free image, and if you type this in Google as Unsplash Azamat Zahanisov, let's say you will be able to find it here. So this is the author, and here are his images, and here, and you can just download this image and use it in your own project. So let's go back to Photoshop now. Let's take this image, bring it inside Photoshop, and first of all we want to make this bigger, so we can just click here and drag like this, click here and drag, and make sure we see her face. Let's click OK. So now when we did that, take this image and put it to the bottom, so it needs to be below everything else. Now let's select our gradient layer, which is our background color basically, and now we have to change the blending mode, and I would advise you to change it to divide. Already looks nice. Now let's go to our text. We need to combine it to one single object, so click on the first one and then hold shift and click on the second one, click right and choose convert to smart object. And again, let's just place it in the middle first of all. And now what we have to do is actually we need to change the blending mode. So, but actually let's make it bigger. Let's go to edit and free transform. And let's make this text bigger. This should, yeah, something like this is already nice. Let's click OK. Now let's go to normal and choose a different blending mode. Let's see which one I used there. I don't exactly remember, but should be somewhere here. Yeah, I use this one, difference. Or you can also use the other ones, subtract. No, subtract, exactly. So this is the one that I used, and here you go, guys. That's exactly the same project that I showed you in the beginning of this class. Whew. Don't forget to check learnfromfred.com for a full 3 months of my premium Photoshop classes free of charge. A whole month, you have free access to all classes. How cool is that? And you can contact me anytime, and I will be happy to answer you. You know, I'm just like your best friend. If you have any questions about Photoshop, just message me, and I'll be happy to reply to you. That's it, guys, for today, and bye.